Welcome, one and all. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome to the Digital Arcade Podcast, or DAP, if you're cool. My name is Brandon, aka the Voltic Ace, the one and only, the protagonist of this podcast. And I'm joined today by a few friends, a few fellow streamers, if you will. Starting off with Miss Rudel Poodle.
Hi everyone, I'm Rudel. I'm an avid gamer. I like to play games like Genshin Impact and any like open world kind of adventure fantasy games. Yeah.
Hey everyone, I am Ice Cold VSOP, also a variety streamer. I play everything. There is no genre that I really stick to, so you come check me out. Who knows what you might step into.
You know, I like how I didn't introduce Ice, and he just assumed he was part of this podcast. Like, we gotta check with HR. Who hired this man?
Well, I knew you weren't. Yeah, exactly. And not only that, I knew you weren't going to introduce me, so I might as well just go ahead and step in.
Is that how we're starting? We're starting the first episode of the Digital Arcade Podcast with the slander?
Slander.
It's the first episode, but this is how you've treated me since the beginning of time. So
wow.
let's go for it. But Rudel is nice. Rudel is a nice balance to your debauchery. So
it's a Canadian in me. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
I'll agree with you, Ice. She's nice when it's not a full moon. But anyway, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in our fellow listeners. I can't even get it out. Welcome in. So, guys, yeah, I just wanted to go around real quick and ask you guys, because we're all streamers here, we're all gamers, we're all doing something, different. What have you guys been playing? What have you been watching? If you've been watching any animes or shows, anything. As for myself, I've been beating Shin Megami Tensei 5, been doing that on stream, and that's been pretty awesome. But I know I'm super late, but I've been watching The Legend of Korra, the Avatar Last Airbender.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was actually watching it before the podcast, and I just finished book 2 or chapter 2, whatever, arc 2 with the spirits. So yeah, it's
Oh, the thing is, you're super late on that.
Yep.
But I'm like even more late because I just finished the first book. So
hey, props.
I don't care about spoilers. But yeah, no, that's a pretty good anime, eh?
Yeah,
I enjoy it. I know a lot of people have issues with Korra, but I feel like the issues that they have with her are written into her character, right? Everybody can't be Aang. So
yeah.
I feel like, it's, I get it, but come on.
So, okay. Now for me, I can't deal with spoilers. You see, I get tripped up just thinking about spoilers. So please don't spoil it for me, Ice. But what I
anything. That's why I didn't say anything.
She dies. No, I have no idea.
Wow. But what I can't stand about Korra, justice for Asami. This girl cheated on Mama and Asami. I'm just like, Asami didn't deserve none of that. That's all I gotta say. Yeah.
So like, where I'm at in it, there's like a love triangle going on, but it's more like a square or something. I have no idea who's like into who. It's like they're all into each other, which is great. But like, I don't know. It's confusing.
It is, and Korra is a homewrecker. I'm just my personal opinion. She is a homewrecker, and again, they wrote her like that, right? Like so. I just want to
she's
see
the Avatar. She can do what she wants.
Who's gonna stop her?
One thing I can say that I do enjoy is that she is a flawed character. She's not perfect, and just like real people, everyone has some flaw. No one's perfect. And
just like you. No, I'm sorry.
No, you're very right. I am not perfect. Here it is.
I feel bad now.
As you should. Yeah, you live with that.
No.
But yeah, I like what they're doing with her. I may not care for her too much because that home wrecking thing is just like, bro, that's foul. But I'm very curious to see what the show could have been without Nickelodeon's influence. Because if it wasn't on Nick, I could see the show being much darker. And if I could write it, oh gosh, I would go deep. But speaking about going deep, guys.
So before you do that, I will tell you that we don't get many dark cartoons anymore, right?
True.
Like we don't really get, unless it's like a horror-based anime or something like that, we don't really get. But I would love to see a resurgence of some darker toned cartoons, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was telling people, I actually recommended, I don't know if anybody ever saw the old Peter Pan and the Pirates that used to come out on Fox. If you have never seen that, I recommend you go and watch it and tell me what you think about it. It could be a discussion for it. Because like when I say this thing is dark, I mean it's dark. Like for example, you know, everybody knows the story of Peter Pan, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows that Captain Hook is obsessed with him because he's always said, well, you know, Peter cut off my hand and threw it to the crocodile. We see that in Peter Pan and the Pirates. We
nice.
see what set Peter Pan off from the childish kitty guy boy he is to make him want to cut off Hook's hand and throw it to the crocodile. He thought and forgive the pun, he thought Hook iced all of his friends, and in a fit of rage,
I see what you did
in a fit of rage, you know, lop off to the crocodile it went. And we get that storyline that we've never seen in any rendition of Peter Pan. So, yeah, I would love to see stuff a little bit more dark, you know, a little bit more adult oriented, given that, you know, we're adults now versus when we were growing up. But
I remember like other like shows like that in general, like the shock factor that comes from like the dark themes and stuff. Like I remember when I first watched Game of Thrones. Have you guys seen Game of Thrones, like season 1?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, just making sure. Like that shock factor when everyone's like Ned Stark is the protagonist, they can't kill him, and then boom, his head comes off.
Yep.
I just remember being so shook, right? Yeah. I was like, wait, but they can't kill him. Is he gonna come back? Or like Attack on Titan when Eren Yeager dies.
Hold on, whoa! I'm not for that. Let's rewind.
It's like episode 2 or something.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about like first season.
Oh yeah.
I'm about to say you've never seen Attack on Titan. That happens like early.
But like he's the protagonist, and then like in one of the first few episodes of season 1, boom, he dies. He gets eaten. It's like wow, that shock factor. It's not something that's common nowadays, which is unfortunate because it's so good when it's done right.
It is. It is.
You should read my novel. But speaking of reading, guys, we're gonna hit on to our first subject, and that's my impromptu drum roll right there.
Okay, wait, isn't there a drum roll in here somewhere? Hold on.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hold on. Ah, that's the wrong one.
Nice.
It's a drum.
All right, we'll take it. So, I'm gonna introduce you guys to the weird story of the week. You know, actually, no, that's not a good intro because that sounds like it's creepy. The weird story of the week.
All right, you gotta sing it every single week now.
It's gonna be a different song every week. Okay. So I do have a weird story for you guys, and for our listeners, both Rudel and Ice have no idea what the story is. This is one that I plucked from the gaming universe itself, and yeah, I'm gonna give you guys the quick version, the cliff notes, if you will. So, this story is involving Nintendo, right?
Right.
More specifically, a Nintendo hacker. So back in 2021. A man was sentenced to 40 months in prison for participating in a hacking business. He was pretty much like the salesman for a hacking business directly towards Nintendo products, right? So he was sent to prison, and it was over $300,000 that he got in profits and stuff from this hacking business, right? Mm-hmm. And I should point out this absolute villain who was hurting the gaming industry. He was from the worst area you can imagine. No, it's not Florida. I know that's where initial thoughts go. But
Florida man strikes again.
Exactly. But he was actually, he's from Canada, so, you know.
Oh, represent. Let's go. Not in a good way, but
when you hear the end of this story, you're not going to want to say that, though. But go ahead, keep going.
Oh, wait, don't tell me you know this.
I do know the story.
I have no idea.
Okay. Go ahead, keep going.
Okay, so in any case, he got out of jail because of good behavior. He did confess to being guilty. And now the damages he was ordered to pay by Nintendo at the time of his sentence was a total of $10 million in damages.
Ew.
That's how much he has to pay. So, obviously, I don't know about you, but having 10 million on hand readily is not something most people have. I have 9 mil, but still. Nintendo is set to take out 25 to 30% of his monthly gross income for the rest of his life. And the guy did confess, and he said he did make a total around $320,000 over the years he worked for this hacker business. But here's the awesome thing. Rudel, do you know what this man's name is?
I have no idea. I'm terrified.
This infamous villain who attacked Nintendo, his name is... Drum roll, please.
Oh, I got you. Give me 1 sec. I got you.
All right, I like it. His name is Gary Bowser. Bowser himself is attacking Nintendo.
Like, legit? His name's Bowser?
Yes, legit his name.
He was born to do that then.
Yeah.
he was.
Like, he fulfilled his destiny. He has accomplished all that he was supposed to do in life.
But let me jump in here real quick, Ace. Yeah. I want to just clarify a few things. So this was talked about at great length in my Discord, right? And the way it was assessed, according to what I've seen, is that of that, well, the number that we have is 14.5 million, right? Again, it's been conflicting because I guess we'll never really know, right? But between 10 and 14.5 million, and it's 25 to 30% of his income until that 10 million comes out, right?
USD, right?
USD, yeah. And according to reports, he has only paid $175 of that from his like prison earnings, right? Because remember, now he was initially, I believe they were saying he was making like, 200, 300,000. It doesn't matter, right? Because at the end of the day, at 20%, that's still like a life sentence. Mm-hmm. And like many people, we were kind of outrageous because like when you hit somebody with a $10 million fine, you usually hit like a company with a $10 million fine, right? Or a business, or somebody who failed to do something, but not a single individual. And that was kind of crazy in my opinion.
Do you think he's buying lottery tickets?
That's the
think
only
of that. That's like a get out of jail fast key right there.
Yeah.
Boom. You can you win the 50 mil and boom, you can pay it off immediately and then be done with it and then live the rest of your life in luxury.
Exactly. But most people will never pay that off. Oh, and they really just like stuck it to him, and I think it was a bit heavy-handed on Nintendo's part, but that's just my opinion.
Never underestimate the power of those Nintendo ninjas, because they will find you. Mm-hmm. And I know when it comes to hacking and stuff, the laws in Japan is much higher than it is here. Well, I should say the penalties, because they don't joke around with that. And Nintendo is primarily a Japanese company. So, yeah, that's why it's pretty heavy. But I do want to say real quick, his name is Gary Bowser. What? How common is the last name Bowser? Because the current president of Nintendo, his last name is Bowser too. So it's like...
Any relation?
What is going on? Is this Bowser?
That would be crazy if it was. I don't know.
Maybe way down the line,
But with that being said, guys, I think it's time to swap over to our first topic, because we have a ton to talk about today, right? And all right, so Rudel,
Rudel.
Rudel.
Rudel is ready.
Not Ice, but Rudel. Rudel, you know what time it is, right?
It's time to twirl.
It's time to twirl. 100%.
For those of you listening who have no idea what that is from, there has been a game that released recently. I believe it was on April 26th, 2023. And it's a game by Hoyoverse called Honkai Star Rail. And there's a very cutesy character in there, and when she does her attack, she goes, "It's time to twirl!" And it's so adorable. But she says it a lot, and it's really repetitive, and it's always stuck in my head.
Yeah, it has burnt an image in my head. And how did the Japanese version go?
It's like kuru kuru.
Yeah, so, obviously, guys, you could hear Ice taking his shot right now. He's like, what did I sign up for? So, what we're about to talk about, guys, is the success of Honkai Star Rails. If you're not informed, it's produced, as Rudel said, by Moyoverse. And Hoyoverse. That's exactly
used to
what
be Mahoyo, though. Used to be Mahoyo. So you like kind of splurge his old name with their new name.
Tomato. But
exactly. People know what you mean.
It's the same company that's in charge of Genshin Impact. You guys may have heard of it. And yeah, guys, this game is a juggernaut when it comes to sales right now. It is making dumb money. I mean, like, stupid money, and it's fun to play. Now, it is a gacha game, so I would let you guys know that out the gate if you never tried it. But it's actually, me personally, I think it's pretty fair for a gacha game. You could get pretty far without spending a dime. And yeah, let's talk about it, guys. So Rudel, you play it. You've obviously played it on stream. Ice, have you played it before? Have you dipped your toes into the anime inspired world?
I have not. I did play Genshin for a little while, but Genshin lost me for a lot of reasons. So it would take a miracle for them to pull me back in. So I just kind of leave Honkai to the professionals like yourself, Rudel, and all those. Enjoy it for me. I will live vicariously through you.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Now, Rudel has tried to convince me to get into Genshin. I don't know. It's like it's a start-go thing with me when it comes to Genshin. But from what
it's very different from Honkai.
And what I heard from like people who have played both, they said there are similarities, especially when it comes to like the gacha system.
The gacha system is near identical. A couple of differences, but they're pretty similar. And like the, what do you call it, microtransaction-y bullshit or stuff. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
That's shenanigans. They're basically identical in each of the games. I'm pretty sure they like copy pasted whatever it was from Genshin to that one. Because it obviously works for Genshin because that game is like crazy successful. And so like, well, if this works here, let's try it over here. And right now, Honkai Star Rail, which is a free-to-play game, is kind of going crazy. So I believe they've made so far like 132.3 million off of Star Rail, which is ridiculous. Like, that's insane.
So,
like, to me.
One thing I seen is estimated, and of course, take everything with a grain of salt, but it's estimated that they're making an average of $5 million a day worldwide, which is insane. And of course, in the Chinese market, that's where a lot of gacha games and mobile games, they thrive. But they did say that it topped $130 million. Let me repeat that. $130 million in mobile revenue in the first month. And that is just mobile. Mind you, this game is out for PC and is planned to come to the modern day consoles as well. So
PlayStation, more specifically.
True. So I think it's safe to say Honkai is here to stay. It's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Part of its big draw is that, one, it is anime style, and lots of people really dig anime style games, so it has that aspect. It's got the combat in Honkai Star Rail is turn-based combat, so it's actually very easy. The AI, you can also do like auto combat in it, and the AI is actually very smart. And it's very helpful for, I don't know, just like if you're on your phone and you're like on a train or something, but you're talking to your buddy, you can just hit auto, boom, and it'll do all the work for you, and then boom, you get your rewards. It's just so satisfying.
Why is my buddy interrupting my train ride?
Who's your train ride? Oh, your train ride.
What were you saying, Ice?
I was just gonna say, I did not know Honkai was turn-based, and there has been a deficiency for turn-based games. A lot of people have been upset, that Final Fantasy has moved away from turn-based. So it tracks that, it's doing popular because there's definitely a market for that.
I was so scared because I played a couple of turn-based games recently, and they were just horrible. I won't name any names, but like they weren't great at all. Like the turn-based combat was just not optimized, and maybe I was just bad. It could also be that. But like I was a little bit scared that they were gonna botch it because the previous games that Hoyoverse has released, Genshin and Honkai Impact, they're both not turn-based combat, and I was like, are they gonna be okay doing this, like, or are they gonna like just botch it again? But no, they did a really good job with the combat. It's really comfortable to play.
So for all my RPG fans listening, if you're familiar with Persona 5, the combat is fluent like Persona 5, and what I mean by that is like speed and the UI. The game is very beautiful to look at. I would honestly say is better visually than Genshin. That's just my opinion. But it's on the same level at least, and it's very fast, very fluid, and like you were alluding to, Rudel, it's something that you don't have to invest a lot of time in. You could just pick up, play, do 5 minutes of grinding, and go about your day. But yeah, guys, I think this might be, calling me crazy, but a contender for RPG of the year. I'm not saying it is gonna win.
Mobile Game of the Year, maybe?
No, definitely not Game of the Year. No, I'm sorry. No, Tears of the Kingdom.
No, mobile game.
Mobile game.
I almost said Game of the Year.
Definitely not Game of the Year.
No.
Way.
I'm sorry. The nerd.
Like it's amazing, but no, there are so many insane games that are coming out this year.
Speaking of insane games, guys, like how I just elevated.
Segue?
Yeah, Segue King. Thank you. Put on my crown. Yeah, we got a lot of games to talk about, guys, because Sony dropped the mic. They released the floodgates on games, and if you guys aren't aware, and you should be, and if you're not, we'll tell you. Sony had their showcase, the Sony showcase.
Say that 5 times fast.
I would choose not to, madam. There were a lot of games released, and yeah, I want to talk to you guys about some of them. Like, what are you guys hyped for? What are you looking forward to? What are you, what can't you wait to play? What are you worried about? I want to hear everything. Let's talk about it, guys.
Do you want to just go down the list from like the first game that they released to the end, or how you want to tackle it?
Yeah, you know what? We could do that. We got time.
Okay. I guess the first game that was shown was Fair Games, plural, with the dollar sign at the end. It looks solid. Go ahead.
Was that the one where it was like them looting?
It was like it had like a Watch Dogs feel to it.
Oh, okay. Like, yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, the very first one. I believe it had a black female protagonist. Yeah, and I'm for that. I'll be the first one to tell you I'll definitely support that. Not if it plays the same as like Watch Dogs, it's not typically my speed of game, but I mean the reveal trailer just looked amazing, so I can't knock it. I would like to see more. Like with any game, like any new game, I would like to see more in terms of gameplay and
now
what it's going to be.
The trailer itself, did it say if it was like in-game content or did it not say? Because sometimes they do say if this is like what you see in the game.
I can't recall, if I'm honest.
Because it's visually stunning, the trailer, and like the music is so good.
Yeah, it looked beautiful, but in all actuality, to me, that looked like it was all just cinematic, not gameplay. And yeah, so It looks good, but I'm gonna say optimistic, but I'm just like wait and see. That's just my opinion on it.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Yep.
All right, so moving on because we got a ton of games. What was next, Ice?
Helldivers 2.
Yes, hello.
Oh my gosh.
Go.
I've never played Helldivers, but I'm getting that day one.
I don't have a PlayStation at all. Sorry, I gotta talk about this one because
go for it.
Like, I don't have a PlayStation. That is not my type of game at all. But I thought it was so funny. They were just all like freedom, democracy, blah blah blah, and they're just like just rampaging through the wilderness. And, like, I don't know. It was just a very, very good trailer. It made me really interested in it, even though like it's not a game I would like typically go to play myself at all. It looks so goofy, but like just so good.
So I've actually played the first Helldivers and I enjoyed it. It is a fun game. It's very campy. It's very goofy. They'll say liberty, and it's just like they call it Super Earth, but it's pretty much just like the whole world. Well, from the protagonist's point of view, it's just like Super America, right? And you could kind of see that from the trailer. So they did change it up a little bit, but it still looks the same like the first game. The major difference is that it's an over-the-shoulder third person now, because before it was a top-down perspective, and you play as these humans, and you're just in a galactic war with 3 other races, alien bugs, cyborgs, and what am I forgetting? I'm forgetting one. I'm sorry, it's been such a long time, everybody. But you're fighting against these other aliens, and they each have like a different ability, and they have different units, and they all play out differently. But there's friendly fire. You call down like weapon capsules from above, and it could crush your teammates and stuff. It's just chaos. It's kind of like a top-down bullet hell game a little bit. But there's so much to it, and bottom line is I'm hyped. If you haven't played the original, I highly recommend it. I played it on P4. The servers were really active. I don't know how it is on PC, but it was really active, and it was fun, and it's probably like $15, if not cheaper.
Yeah, to me, when we were watching it, somebody said, this looks like Starship Troopers, the game, right? And I was like, I love the Starship Trooper franchise. I was waiting for somebody to say, would you like to know more? But regardless, I think it's going to be a great game. So I agree with all of that you said. For sure.
It's true.
That one has good potential.
Yeah, it's truly a hidden gem. The first one, I can't stress it enough. Pick it up. It's indie. Support your indie artists. But yeah, moving on. What's next?
Immortals of Avian.
Immortals of Avian. I'm trying to remember that. Let me see.
So that one, I don't know. That one, it looked good. I want to say it had a somewhat Destiny vibe, but I'm not sure if I saw enough to call it one way or the other. You know, it's I believe it's a first-person shooter. Don't quote me on that. But it looks solid. It looks solid. I just like I said, for this one, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. I was just remembering which one it was.
For this one, I can't really say. Yeah, it didn't stick with you, right? It didn't stick with you like Helldivers did. Is
that the one where it's like you see the person's hand and they had like
magic?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You know, so I do remember that now, and I was talking to I was on the phone when I was watching it, and I was saying something about this game. Like I'm not wishing bad on it, and I don't wish bad on games, but I said I could see this being a flop. It just seemed it just like generic trailer. There was nothing about it that stood out or seemed special. And even
at
now,
least it's in-game footage. I think there is that. Possibly. They're showing us what it is.
You know, I feel like it was, but it wasn't. I feel like that's concept for in-game because, you know, they're going to put a HUD and you see a HP bar or like something. You know what I mean?
Oh, true.
It was just like a meh for me.
Kind of gives me Halo vibes, you know?
Yeah.
But like fantasy-ish.
Yeah.
Like instead of guns and stuff, you get magic arm.
And they also said there was going to be like some problem solving in there as well. So I don't know. You know, like I said, not every game speaks to everybody, but yeah, it's a wait and see game. I agree with that.
But at least one thing I could say, one positive about it, it did look pretty.
Yes.
Visually, very appealing, yeah.
But talking about pretty, the next game, Ice, which was...
Ghost Runners 2.
Woo! That looked beautiful. Now, personally, I haven't played the first Ghost Runners. I believe I have it, and it's just lost in my backlog that I haven't touched this yet. But have you guys ever wanted to be a cyber ninja? Have you ever wanted to become Genji from Overwatch? That is pretty much Ghost Runners. Now, I haven't played it. I'll stress that again. But from what I've seen, it's just like Genji Simulator. And yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, I was, as I watched it, I was like, oh, this dude looks just like Raiden from Metal Gear.
Yeah.
And, you know how they draw him, silver-haired, tall, just the way all the ladies like, right? And
like
good, straight Sephiroth vibes, right? So I think this one might actually do good. I don't really have a whole lot to say on it because, like you said, I didn't play the first one either. So maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll check the first one out and see if the second one is good. So about the first one, so what is the first one, Ace? Is it like, is it just like a single player storyline, or is it like 4-player co-op? Okay, what is it?
I believe it is purely single player. I haven't played it either, but like I said, I believe I do own it, which is bad. Yeah, I know, but from the best way for me to describe it, just based on a looks, right, is Mirror Edge. If you guys are familiar with that game, yeah. So Mirror's Edge mixed with, I guess, Ninja Gaiden or Metal Gear Rising, because it's just first person ninja action and it looks good. It looks like you'll get motion sick in VR, but otherwise, like, it looks like a pretty dope game. For me, it's the next wait and see. But if it comes to PC, I'm down for it. I don't have a P5. Really don't have a reason to have one. But, with all these games coming out, who knows? That might change.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. I don't have a PlayStation 5, but, with all the content that's coming out for it, like, that was my holdup, right? Like, getting a PS5 didn't make sense because there's not a lot of content for it. But now, like, with 2023, us being halfway through, looks like they're going to come out with... And some of these games are coming out in 2023. So it's like, I might have to get this. I might have to... I've been holding off. It might be time now.
True.
I personally held off for the same reason. There wasn't any games that I wanted, but there is one game I definitely want for the PS5, and maybe enough to push me to getting it, and it's actually on this list, so let's move on.
The next one, and I'm just going in the order that it was shown, is Phantom Blade Zero.
Woo!
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. That one looked really cool.
Yeah. Samurai-esque,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it looked really cool. Really dark.
Yes.
I love the combat. The combat looked so cool. Really intricate, too. Like, the choreography and everything.
I agree.
Like, that's my type of game.
I don't know. Was it kind of, like, I don't remember the trailer. Was it kind of Soulsy? Like a Souls-like game?
It looks Souls-esque, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Now, we didn't see any, like, Souls elements, like, like a bonfire or the collecting of souls or anything like that. But it looks very Soul-esque, like you guys just said. But I like how it's very fast-paced. I love the visuals. To me, it's a mixture between Japanese and Chinese. More so Chinese from a lot of things that I was seeing. But then
it's like samurai, but Chinese.
And that's what...
It's a mix of that. Because I was like... I heard that instrument at the beginning. It's a Chinese instrument. I forget what it's called. But then they showed a samurai, and I was like, but that's Japanese. So that was a little confusing. But I don't know.
Even the way
who the devs are... Where was it made, this game?
But one thing, while you look for that, one thing I would say, like, even the way how the main character was fighting with their sword, the movements, that's traditional Chinese. So I'm like, how is he a samurai? But I'm fine with the blending of both orientations. I'm cool with that.
Oh, yeah.
But it looks good, and that is high on my list. Like, if I had to say like a top 5 list of games from this showcase that I want to play right now, that is one of them.
Okay,
Best game.
that's fair.
And then, and real quick, I'm just gonna gush over this. When the guy was sitting down, he flipped the table, and I was like, "Oh, he has one arm," and then he just put on like the giant gun cannon. I was like, "Yeah, that got me. I got hyped." All right, so yeah, let's move on because we we got a ton of games.
So many games.
The next
Sword
one
of the
is
Sea?
yeah, it is Sword of the Sea.
Beautiful art style.
It is a beautiful art style.
I've seen a lot of people using the Unreal Engine?
Mm-hmm.
In like that style, and then it's kind of refreshing to see someone not using that for their games and like just doing different art styles.
I agree.
Very unique.
But you know,
Journey.
Yeah, but I didn't really see anything but art.
Yeah.
In the trailer, right? Like I didn't see like what the game was about, what's the storyline. Like I couldn't tell anything. So yeah, that one's definitely gonna be a wait and see for me.
Visually, it's stunning, but that's so far all we know about it.
Right.
So, to me, it's an artsy game, right? That's the classification I put it as artsy game. Nah, I'm not bashing it. I'm Mr. Positive Pete here, but for me, it's like I feel like that's gonna be free on Plus one day. Like that's just the way I feel. But it looks good, and I feel like it's gonna sell well. Visually, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, Ice.
One is the Talos Principle 2. That was the one when you're a cyborg or a robot, and you're in this large open world-esque place. I don't know anything about this game.
all right. That's what I picked up too. Is that like they didn't really show you or tell you kind of what type of game it is.
No, right? And I assume they think you played the first one, but I never did. So
yeah, same. Unfortunately, so they're catering more towards their audience that they already have.
Yeah, correct. So not much to say on that one. The next one is Neva or Neva. That's the one. If you saw it with the giant wolf, white wolf with the antlers.
Oh yes.
And it's like inky darkness, kind of.
Yeah.
It is kind of like ink. The way that the monsters are kind of behaving with like the splatters. It's really cool.
So
yeah,
looks very dark though.
Like I said before, I was watching The Legend of Korra recently, and I'm in the spirit. Well, I just finished the spirits arc, and just seeing that reminded me of Korra in the world of Avatar, just like humans and spirits together. And I thought it was beautiful, and the way how those shadows were like clawing at that wolf and bringing it down is just, I wanted to know more.
Right. Yeah,
there's story to this one.
Yeah, and I think I could play that probably for the story, right? Like I think there's more to, like almost like Spiritfarer or something like that, right? So I think this could be a good one.
Same here.
2D game, right?
Yes. Next one is Cat Quest: Pirates of the Caribbean.
I need that game. I'm saying it now. I need that game. It is adorable. Like, it's just this little campfire going around and like, just adventuring. It's so cute.
I was gonna bash it, but you are so optimistic about it.
How could you bash it?
I can't bash it, but I will watch it on your stream, Rudel, because it's not really my type of game. But I know, like, those cozy, funny, cute style games, not my speed, but I get it. And, I would definitely watch somebody who played that just to see what it's about. So
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, the name is amazing.
I love it. It's so good. I can't wait for that one to come out.
Miss Captain Rudel, I have to ask you.
Yes.
Have you played Stray?
Stray? I've not. No. Do I have it? That's a good question.
Okay, I was just curious because I said I feel like people who like Stray might like this. Okay. I'm glad you're hyped for it.
Unfortunately, it's a 2024 release, so
no.
Yeah, so you have to wait, Rudel, until next year.
Well, it'll be perfect.
No, my goodness.
Wait, play the drum, Rudel, the drum.
Oh my goodness, I got it.
There we go. Perfect. Oh man.
Oh, all right. We're gonna move on past that bad joke.
Cat Quest, guys. Get it while it's hot.
Oh my goodness. Foam stars.
Oh, okay. All right. Look, I gotta address that. Yes. Is it Splatoon? Yes.
It is.
Is it made by Square Enix? Yes. Is Splatoon awesome? Yes. Is Square Enix awesome? Yes. So I'm down for it. I want it.
I don't like this carbon copy. I have to respectfully.
I don't know what the other game is that you guys are talking about.
So Splatoon is a very popular game on the Nintendo Switch, and it's basically you're going around painting the board, and whoever paints the most of that level in terms of percentage wins that game.
Okay,
right?
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I wasn't a fan. I don't like. It just it irritated me. It irritated me. They didn't even try to cover it up, right? We knew anybody with a brain knew this was Splatoon, right? And they just tried to put their own spin on it, but no. But, okay. I just
look at it. First off, Ice, they were legit popping champagne bottles in there. I figured
they
you,
were
a man of class, would like that. But look at it like this from this perspective, right?
I am not such a cheap date, my friend. I'm a cheap date, but I ain't that cheap.
Find me a cheap date then. So in any case, look at it like this. If any game made a monster collecting game where you could train monsters and have them follow you and collect them, you would immediately say it's Pokemon. But it doesn't mean it's bad, but yeah, isn't it?
No, I respectfully disagree with that as well. Because think about Monster Rancher, right? Where, like, especially like if you go back to like the old Monster Rancher where you could use your PlayStation CD to unlock new. Yeah, it wasn't the same. It was unique enough that I did not tie those two together. Now, stretch of the imagination, I could see why you would say that. But no, I don't think that just capturing monsters and making them fight makes all things Pokemon. However, this game is Splatoon. And everybody knows.
There's no ink, though. Splatoon is all about ink. This is bubbles. Okay.
I'm weird. So moving on to the next one. Rudel, did you have anything that you wanted to add to Foam Stars before we move on?
As someone who is not aware of Splatoon, it looked like it'd be a fun game to play with your friends and everyone, but I don't know. It doesn't look like my cup of game. My cup of game. There we go.
Real quick, one thing I would say, don't know if I said it, but Splatoon it has a single player, but it's made for multiplayer. It's designed for that. So it is really fun to play with your friends, and I'm hoping this is good. And to me, it looks like it could be free to play, but we'll see.
I think it's going to be a lot I think it's going to be free to play. I think it's going to be a lot like Fortnite. So
I got Fortnite vibes from the style and everything.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of pay to pretty is what I call it. So you're going to be paying for skins and stuff like that. Oh yeah. I don't mind pay to pretty. I do mind pay to win. But I don't mind pay to pretty. If I want to, spend my little $1.99 to make myself look like Master Chief, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, Ice, let's rapid fire because
we're not gonna. There is no way we can get to the end of this.
We are
Plucky Squire. Plucky Squire. Quick, speed.
It is Plucky Spire.
Storybook gameplay. 2D to 3D gameplay. I thought that was really unique.
I think
it did look unique.
You start out in a storybook and it's just 2-dimensional. You go left, you go right, up, down, probably, and then boom, you can jump out of the book, and then you go out into the quote unquote open world. And
it looks like it was giving me Toy Story vibes, right? Because you're this little person in this big world. I thought it was cool.
It looked really cute.
Yeah. I believe this one was for a Switch as well, right? No, PlayStation. What am I talking about?
PlayStation.
It looks perfect for the Switch, though.
It does look played, and that is what got me, right? I was like, this has to be released on multiple platforms because this looks prime for the Switch. So, but not all of those games were PlayStation exclusives, were they?
No.
I didn't think so.
Because I know
So
some of them are coming for PC for sure.
And they can always,
right.
like, in the future also go to different consoles and whatever.
But moving on, we're rapid fire, so we got it because we got some big ones we got to get to. So
Teardown?
Teardown.
Who?
Thoughts? Teardown. It looked like kind of like blocky Lego Minecraft-y kind of art style. And then I guess is it like a destruction sim? Like
no, yeah.
It looks chaotic and fun.
It looks like it has potential. It's
you
like
think so?
Yeah, I think it's, to me it looks like GTA Online mixed with Minecraft with multiple buildings.
Yeah. Because there was like helicopter chases, cars, destruction, tons of destruction. But I couldn't really kind of understand what type of game it was because there was a lot going on in the trailer. But it looked fun. So there's that.
But speaking of fun, the next game is
Snake Eater. Metal Gear.
Oh yes. Yes.
Another day one for me.
Yeah.
I did not see a Metal Gear Snake Eater, especially for them, if they were going to start remaking the Metal Gear series, I would have thought that they would start with 1 and then 2 and then go in. But they started with Snake Eater, and I'm not mad at that at all, because Snake Eater, by if you ask a lot of Metal Gear fans, is the best one.
So real quick confession. I love Metal Gear Solid. I'm a fan. I have not played Snake Eater though. I own it, but I haven't played it. I'm surprised they did start with Snake Eater. It's actually called Snake Eater Delta, and they did announce it's coming for PC, which is good. And we are getting a re-release of the original 3. And based on the sales, how that do, Konami will decide if they go with a next collection. So that would include 4, which is locked on the PS4 right now, and 5 as well. But yeah, Snake Eater is just one of those. It got lost in my backlog, and I haven't got to. But the second one, played it, beat it, loved it.
I mean, I will tell anybody who has never played it before, you could play, because it's a prequel and you just wanted to dip your toes into Metal Gear, you could actually start with Snake Eater if you wanted to.
What type of game is it? Because I'm unfamiliar with this title and this game.
What's a good parallel to Metal Gear? It's like an action RPG, maybe? Would you call it that?
I would call it a stealth action game, if anything.
Yes, right. Because the whole thing about Metal Gear is it's covert espionage, right? So, while there is action, like when you get to bosses and stuff, 98% of the game you're trying not to be seen. So, it's a lot of stealth kills, a lot of hiding in different places, a lot of crawling through vents and things like that. So, and then, if you do set off the alarms, then the action comes in, you pull out your assault rifle and go to work, right? But
oh yeah.
Yeah, but for the most part, it's a covert game.
So, Rudel, one thing I would say, so the original, well, not the original, but the one that a lot of people gravitate towards, which they call the first Metal Gear, came out on PlayStation 1, right? And back then, it was genre defining, where in the very beginning, and anyone who's played it, they could tell you this happened to them. You're breaking into a base, a snow-covered base, and you're walking, and it's leaving footprints. The guards will actually see your footprints and be like, someone's here, and follow you and try to find you.
Yes. That sounds really cool.
That's PS1, so it was mind-blowing. But this game, it looks good. It's self-aware at times, and yeah, Metal Gear is just an awesome franchise. And I would say, hands down, one of the biggest franchise when it comes to bosses. If you want that satisfaction, you know what I'm trying to say.
I like that. Satisfaction. Yeah. Yep, I understand. I got you.
If you want, you see, I'm so hyped with Metal Gear, I can't even talk. If you want to feel great for beating a boss, that gratification, yes, Metal Gear does it, because the bosses make you think outside the box. I know that there are some bosses where, like, what's a good one? Psycho Mantis, good one in the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a mentalist. Pretty much, he has psychic abilities, and he could take over Snake. Now, Rudel, for you to defeat him, you have to take out your controller and literally put it into the other controller slot because he was psychically controlling you. And as a kid, you're not. That is just so ahead of his time.
Dude.
Let me even step on you real quick, Ace. One of the things they tell you in that first fight, Rudel, is Psycho Mantis is talking to you like through the screen, right? And he tells you to put your controller down on the ground, and then you do. And when you do, he makes the controller vibrate and says, "I'm going to move it with my mind." Like this is the first one. So and
I can only imagine how they've grown since then too.
Exactly.
And, like, expanded on that sort of stuff. Oh, that's so cool.
Or even better, there's a part in the story in the first one where you have to continue and you have to call this person on the radio to continue. You got to call Meryl, and they're like, "What's her number?" They said, "Check on the box." And you're like, "What box? What are they talking about?" And you only find out on the back of the actual game box is the code you have to call in game.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna convert her to Metal Gear Solid, everybody.
Yeah, I absolutely recommend it, Rudel. Like if you wanted to dip your toes into Metal Gear, I definitely think it'd be a good play for you. I think you would enjoy it.
Good to know.
All
Dude, that sounds awesome.
Real quick, guys, because I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then I was going to say, I think they said something about a Master Collection coming out as well. So,
yes, sir.
So if the Master Collection is coming out, I would tell you to like wait for that to come out, and then when it does, you might get some upgraded graphics or something like that. It's not a remake, but it'd definitely be something that you might like to try out.
100%.
So that's it.
I know I'm going to stream that. But guys, we are running short on time, so I do want to make sure I hit on these two games in particular. The first one I want to talk about 100%, and for me, I did mention earlier, there is one game that I would consider buying a PS5 right now just for, and that is Final Fantasy 16.
Ah, yes.
How do you guys feel? Because I have goosebumps for that trailer. Goosebumps.
So, I was watching it and I was like, wow, this is very Final Fantasy. Wow, they look like Final Fantasy. Wow, this looks like Final Fantasy World. And then it came out Final Fantasy 16. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But no, it looked really good. I played a couple of the recent Final Fantasy games. And they've been really good. And this, I don't know, it looks like similar. So I was like, oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be good then. Like,
Which ones, if you don't mind me asking?
What was it? There was 15.
Okay.
13.
Okay.
Something else.
I just want to point out for all the listeners, I actually like Final Fantasy 13. I'll just leave that there.
Yeah. No, I don't think I like that one. So.
Have you, Rudel? Have you?
Yeah. Sorry. I think it was, what was it, 13? Yeah, no, that one, it just wasn't, it didn't run well, I find. I don't know. Maybe it's because I got it on the PC and it was just not made for that.
A lot of people...
Like, it could just be that, but it ran so bad, like, I couldn't even get past, like, the introduction.
Oh.
I was like, oh. But, like, I had bad experience with that one, but then I had amazing experience with, like, the 15, and, like, I don't know. And I've heard, like, so much about, like, this, like, the whole franchise in general just being so good. Like, Chef's Kiss so good. So, like, I don't know. I'm pretty excited for this new one, 16.
Yeah, I think what 16 does a lot that other ones haven't does is it looked like it's very primal heavy. So, like, if you're not familiar with the primals, well, everybody should be, but if you're not, those are all the summons, right? So Ifrit and Garuda and Shiva, Ifrit, all of those, and it looks like they are central to the story, and I think that's something that we have not seen in Final Fantasy, and I think it's going to be really good when they do it.
One thing I want to ask you, Ice, because I know you play Final Fantasy, do you have a favorite summon out of all the summons in the franchise?
If I think back to the last time I played, I think the last one I played was the MMO, which was Final Fantasy 11. All of the summons are good. Shiva is a fan favorite.
Let's go, man! Culture.
they definitely do good by way of Shiva. Like when they like her execution and like what you can fight with and like her attack power and stuff
Mhm.
is typically really good. I'd have to say that, I have to think about it, but she's definitely one of the favorites.
Okay, Shiva 100% is my favorite in the series. I do love Anima, I do love Bahamut, but Shiva has been my favorite. Final Fantasy is my favorite RPG series, so I'm a big
Yeah.
fan. And Ruda, I know you're new to it, but do you have a favorite or anything?
Nah.
Okay, gotcha. So
I just like the game. I like it, the visual appeal of it, then the
yes,
story.
so
That's what I really like about games myself, is like how visually it looks and like the story wise, you know?
and this is it's going back to its medieval roots, which I'm all about. This dark fantasy, the graphics beautiful visually. It is top tier, mwah, chef's kiss, and I love the darker approach to it. It seems very mature, and as an author myself, I love writing dark stories, so it fits into my wheelhouse. But lastly, guys, unless you guys have anything else to say about Final Fantasy, I want to move on to this last game, and I think it's probably the biggest game. Now, it's the game, me personally, I was most hyped for. And
Uh-huh.
that is, say it with me now, Spider Man 2. Could it have
Okay.
been anything
Mm.
else? How do you guys feel?
Well, I'm not big in that universe, so it's amazing that they're coming up with a new game for it. Yay!
You are being judged critically right now. You are being judged.
Don't be
Hey,
judged because I am not big in that universe either, Rubel.
What?
So I can't. I have not played any recent Spider-Man title.
yeah,
Not
same.
Not Miles Morales, not anything.
Okay.
So, what I will say though is I am an avid Spider-Man comic fan, and anybody who knows me will tell you that. And to that point, I like that we are getting a symbiote version of Spider-Man, not just the powers, but how he acted
Mhm.
when he was paired with the symbiote. And I thought that was amazing. I thought that was a great spin, and I thought that was something that much of the Spider-Man universe needs. So
Now,
because it's not all wine and roses in Spider-Man's life
oh
at
no, it
all.
is not. So, Ice, let me ask you: did you play Spider Man PS4, the PS4 Spider Man game?
I don't believe I did.
Okay, gotcha. All right. And Rudo, I know you don't have a PlayStation, but
I'm sorry for raining on your parade.
Oh, it's all right.
it's not all right. But hey, it
Jeez.
is what it is. No, but
I'm getting fired today, guys.
say goodbye to Rudo, everyone. So in any case, oh
Nice
God,
meeting you.
I am joking somewhat. So in any case, Ice, if you are a Spider-Man fan,
Hmm.
this is one of the best representation of Spider-Man. And one thing I can say, for me personally, who's played a lot of Spider-Man games growing up, this is the best Spider-Man game I ever played. I know everyone says Spider-Man 2 had the best web slinging. I think this game beats it easily.
It's
It's
very
Really?
pretty.
Yes, it is a very good game. It's very flashy, very entertaining. The web swinging feels good. The city itself, I could just explore the city completely. And growing up as a kid from Brooklyn, chat, living in New York, it is
America. Sorry.
America. That's right for our Canadian audience. It is 100% a good representation of New York, or I should say Manhattan in particular. So I'm most hyped about it. Now, guys, time is upon us. So I do want to ask you guys, really quick, what game are you most hyped for from this showcase?
Ooh.
It'd have to be either Helldivers or Snake Eater. Those are just my two. Like I can go to those easy.
Mm.
Okay, okay.
One that we didn't discuss is actually Arizona Sunshine 2,
Mm-hmm.
which looked
Hmm.
like a zombie show. With like, I don't know, the main character just seemed so chaotic and psychotic.
Nice.
Anyway, I like zombie games. And so that one was really calling to me. Anyway, it looked really, really cool.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And as for myself, Final Fantasy 16 and Spider-Man is what I'm hyped for the most. Like I said, Final Fantasy, I had goosebumps. There's not much more I need to say on that. But with that, guys, I think that's an end to a podcast for our first episode, actually. Unless there's anything else you guys wanted to add really quick.
No, I don't have anything.
No, I think that's everything. We covered a lot today.
We did.
And Ice, you were sober for it, which is awesome. So yeah, so guys, with that being said,
yay! Cheers. Water.
How have you dealt with this?
I don't know. Like,
no,
you just listen and you smile and nod. You know.
Wow.
I guess so. Yeah, well, that's what I'm gonna start doing. Smile. Good job, Ace. W joke, Ace. W joke.
W joke.
So guys, that has been another episode of Voltic Ace and his spectacular pals. You know, so I want to
excuse me. No.
Seriously speaking, thank you everyone for showing up and listening to the first episode of the Digital Arcade Podcast, or DAP if you are cool like us. So yeah, I just want to go through a little outro. Tell the good people what you're up to. Where can they find you? Let's start with Rudel.
Alright guys, I stream most days on Twitch, and my name is Rudel Poodle, RUDLEPOODLE. Yeah.
She does be rudling those poodles.
Rudel Poodle everywhere. TikTok, Twitter, Twitch.
There you go.
YouTube. Yeah.
She out here Brandon chat. I'm saying chat, listen.
Like, comment, subscribe. No.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Follow. And of course, we have to say, we got to give Ice a chance to say something. Ice, go ahead. Tell the good people where they can find you.
You can catch me most Tuesdays and Thursdays on Twitch at Ice Cold VSOP, and feel free to come through, say what's up.
All right, cool deal. And I will personally say I like both of these guys. They're both streamers. They're both awesome. If you're a part of the YouTube community, I will have links to their socials down below. And as for myself, I am the one, the only Voltic Ace, aka Brandon. You could call me Ace. You could call me Voltic. Call me whatever. Just don't call me late, because I never am. A hero is always on time. With that, guys, thank you so much for showing up. It's been awesome. And yeah, that's the first episode of the Digital Arcade Podcast. We'll see you for episode 2.
Bye.
Later.
Peace out, everyone. Peace.